Go tap, my brother.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Go tap, my brothers and sisters.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We are live now, and we are going to start. We're going to start right now. Good evening. I can see a number of people are here. There are some people still on the queue, but I'm sure they will join us this evening. Good evening, Dr. Linus.
Good evening.
Are you there?
Good evening. I am here.
Good evening. Good evening.
My lighting is not great. So you might not be able to see me very well. Just 1 second.
I think the light in the back is causing a contrast, or actually making the image not to be clear. Maybe if you close the curtain, there you go, much better.
Right. It's slightly better, but so greetings to everyone. I see many people online that I haven't seen for some time. Welcome, Brother Konata, Ambassador Konata.
My brother.
Hello. It's great to see you.
Likewise, my brother. Likewise.
And everybody else on the line. Now, as we promised, we're going to keep these sessions quite short. Today, let's focus on how you transfer balance from your account into Transact, and the things that you need to watch out for, and the reasons why the request may be declined or approved. That's quite important because that's a hot topic right now. So for those who don't already have their Transact account, I am going to share my screen. Just a sec. I'm sharing my screen. See you later. Oh, you want to come and say hello? Sorry, that's my grandson. All right, you're going to say hello.
That's good.
Say hello before you go. You want to say hello?
Hello.
Sorry,
hello.
That's my grandson. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and I'll start with that. For those of you who already have a Transact account, when you log in, it would look like this, but let's start from the beginning. I'm going to log out. First, Transact is, we're going to try and repeat this as many times as possible. Transact gives you the local currency experience when you're making payments in Lumi, in the sense that it enables you to make payments in your local currency, but with the underlying singular instrument of exchange being the Lumi, and only the Lumi. It does not provide opportunity for you to access fiat, but it provides the opportunity for you to make payments in your country in Lumi as though you're using your local fiat. So your local currency experience in making payments in Lumi. That's what Transact brings. If you don't have an account, you need to click on Get Started, and then just click on this button here, Don't have an account. The form will come up, and you just simply complete this basic information and click Register. It will then take you automatically to the dashboard. Okay. Now, once you are in the dashboard, let me log in now. The dashboard would look like that.
Dr. Linus.
Yes.
Dr. Linus, I think what we should do is go from Connect.
Okay, absolutely right. It should be from Connect because it's easier.
Let's go from Connect.
Yes, you're absolutely right. So let me, in fact, I'm going to start from, oops, okay, I'm going to just open the new browser and start from scratch.
Okay.
My apologies.
Let me. Yeah. Yo. Then I left us.
The reason why we are saying we should start from Connect is because Connect is the hub, Connect is where everyone comes in. There are different products and services that you can access from there. And the idea is that everyone who wants to access Transact while on Connect, if they don't have, it's easy just to click there and open an account. If they need to make a transfer request, they can just click from Connect and get going. So there's no delay, there's nothing that would waste your time. And so it's actually better for everybody to access it from Connect.
Okay, super. So I'm sharing my screen. That's my Connect screen. Now, once you are in Connect, if you don't have the transaction account or Transact, you just go to create account. Now, when you click that, it should come up with, that's because I'm logged in. Let me log out. Once you go to Transact, create Transact account, it brings up this form to enter the details that I was showing you earlier on. You enter and then you submit. It will then take you straight to the dashboard. The dashboard is, you access the dashboard again through Transact dashboard. Now, if you are already logged in, it will take you to the dashboard. If you are not logged in, it will present you login. So I'm going to just click to login because I've saved the details. And so that's what it looks like from Transact. Now, from here, it is so important. One of the issues that we are finding is that people are not providing the KYC information that's required in order to authorize a transfer from account into Transact. I have to emphasize that without the KYC information, no transaction will be approved from account into Transact. So the first thing you need to do is click this button. You have information to submit. That's a typo there. We'll change that. Click on it, and you get this form. Now, if you prefer a dark background like now, then it should look like that. If you prefer a white background, you just click on this button to change the background to white. I think I like the contrast with the dark background, so I use dark background. So the key thing is you need to enter your full name as it appears in your identity document. You then need to click this button here to attach the identity document. It's a file. I've seen some people upload a video of their actual document. That's also fine. It will accept that. Then you need to put your address and also your permanent address. If they are the same, then just repeat it because both fields are required. And then you need to put your SWIFT ID. Now, you can only link one SWIFT account to one Transact account. There is no duplication allowed whatsoever. And so once a particular SWIFT account is linked to your Transact account, that's it. You can't link another, and you cannot transfer funds from another SWIFT account via the transfer process that we've put in place right now into an account that doesn't belong to the SWIFT account holder. So it's a one-to-one mapping, complete one-to-one mapping, okay? So if you have a business account and an individual account, then you have to come into Transact and create a profile for your business, and then create a profile for your individual account and connect them individually. You have to put the country, you have to put the city, and then you submit. Once you submit, it will go into a processing queue. Just wait, it will be processed. The support team is working very hard to make sure that it is processed as quickly as possible. But when you submit a request to make a transfer from your SWIFT account into Transact, that triggers an immediate check. I see, because that has to be checked first before the transaction is approved. Now, what are the issues that we are seeing with the requests that are currently being declined? One, some people are making attempts to transfer funds from a SWIFT account that is not linked to the destination transaction account. That will be an automatic decline. Okay, so there is no multiplicity on Transact. You cannot have multiple accounts in the same name, and so there is a one-to-one mapping in that respect. And you can only request a transfer from an account that is owned by the same person. You couldn't, if you're, let's say, for example, your father has an account has a SWIFT account, and you have a SWIFT account, you couldn't transfer funds from your father's account into your account on Transact. That will be declined. Okay. And what else would lead to a decline? Once the KYC information is checked, if all this information has not been provided and deemed to be acceptable, then that will also represent an automatic decline. So these are the things we are seeing at the moment. And please, 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 this is a community initiative. There are many people working very hard in the background to make it happen. And we are asking the community to be very supportive in the way that we all work together to make this happen. By making sure that if something is asked for, please provide it. Because if you don't provide it, then somebody has to check that you haven't provided it. And then you would have to do it again anyway. That means double work for the support team that is actually happening. Because they will decline your transaction the first time, you will have to submit it again, and then they will have to check a second time. So let's avoid that as far as possible. That's so important. Okay. Now, let's talk about the actual request process.
Please mute your mic. I think the feedback is coming through there. Thank you.
The current request process is that you go into Transact, you go into Connect, and from Connect, you can access this from either menu. If you click on Transact, just go to Transfer AKL to Transact. If you click on Account, just go to Transfer AKL to Account. Like I said, there is a one-to-one mapping. Before you make this request, please make sure that your Transact account is in order to receive the request so that it's not declined midway. Because if it is declined, then the process has to be repeated and the checks have to be done yet again. So please go follow the process. Now, once you have made sure that this KYC information has been submitted on Transact, you can then go ahead and request. To do that, you just go to Account, Transfer AKL to Transact. It will bring up a form that will enable you to log into your SWIFT account if you are not already. Okay, so that form should load very quickly. It says access denied because if you see this, most people wouldn't see this, but because we log in with admin accounts and individual accounts, sometimes the transfer process works from an individual account. So that's why you're seeing access denied. But if you ever see this, just click OK, and then the form will be displayed. Then you need to log in into your account, provide your SWIFT ID and your password. We still see cases where people actually, when it comes to logging into their SWIFT account, they're trying to use their Connect credentials. Please don't do that because the system will lock you out and you then have to wait quite for some time before it allows you to log back in again. So make sure that when you are accessing your SWIFT account, you are using your SWIFT ID and your SWIFT account password. Once you're in, if you want to do the request from here, you can simply go to Account and do a system payment, okay? And that form will open up for you to put the details and the request will then go into a queue when you submit. Now, if you are, let's say you are you're looking at something else and you want to access the link to transfer, that's where to go, Account, System Payment, or it's much easier to actually go to Account, on the main menu on Connect and do transfer AKL to Transact. That is the most convenient way to access all the services from Connect. Okay, so when you are logged in and you click that, it will just open the form for you to put the details that you want to put in. So if I want to transfer, let's say 15 Lumi, I then just enter simply 15, and then I need to put the Transact account number. Now, you realize that your Transact account has to be ready first. So if you submit this request before you've created your Transact account number and think that you can just put any number here for it to work, that will not work. It will be automatically declined, because when it comes to settlement, that account will be checked. It will not exist, and therefore there will be no place to settle. Okay, so you need to make sure that your Transact account exists first. Put the number, check that it is correct, and then put the name of the Transact account. Now, it should be the same name as your Swift account. Okay. Now, the reason we are asking for this, because it's easy to check that this is the requirement, is that the account or the transfer can only be from the same source name to the same destination name. Okay, so that is the source, the Swift account. The names have to match the destination account, which is the Transact account. Now, this is something that could lead to an automatic decline, even without a further check. If those two names are not the same, then somebody, the processing team, might just decide that, okay, this is obviously not compliant with the process, and therefore that's an automatic decline. When you see that, okay, then you have to submit it again. So these sessions are very important so that people understand what they need to do. You don't need to put any description, but if you want, you can put one, and then you submit. That's all you have to do. Then you just go back into your Transact account and check. Sooner or later, the funds will be there. Okay, it can take anything from a few seconds up to 24 hours at the moment, but we are going to be introducing a community-based trading mechanism which will allow two parties in the community to settle that transaction in real time between themselves without actually posting a ticket or without submitting this request that could go on a queue. But that's something that you can expect in the next few days. All right. I just thought I mentioned that. And then, of course, once you have funds in your Transact account, the question then is, how can you use them? So let's go into Transact dashboard. This is an example account. As you can see, Transact is designed to give you a local currency payment experience with Lumi. So if you are comfortable doing your transactions in AKL values, then just keep it to AKL, African Kingdoms Lumi. But if you are in Nigeria, the chances are that you want to choose Nigerian Naira, okay? So that your balance will be displayed in Nigerian Naira, and you'll be able to do all your transactions really in Nigerian Naira equivalent units. But I must emphasize the underlying payment is always Lumi. Remember, we are solving two problems. The first is financial inclusion, so this has to be accessible to everybody. The second is a single instrument of exchange, which will allow people in Nigeria to exchange value with people in South Africa within the community. And as long as you are part of the community and you have access to your Transact account, you will be able to do this in real time with a local currency experience. Now, this is revolutionary. And what we hope is that it should also facilitate the process of executing trades within the African continental continental free trade area. Now, it gets more interesting in that if you are in Nigeria, of course, you can select Nigerian Naira and do your transactions in Naira. And it's as simple as, if you want to send a payment of 100 Naira to somebody, you could simply go to transfer, send money, and then you enter the Transact account number for the person you're sending to. Is there any volunteer in the audience that I can have the benefit of using the account for the purpose of a demo? Any volunteer? Anybody with a Transact account? Can you all still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody with
I
a Transact account?
volunteered yesterday. I'm afraid to volunteer again.
No, you can. Okay, that's fine. Now, if you don't,
I volunteered yesterday, so
that's fine.
I'm afraid to volunteer the second time.
You can volunteer again. That's okay. But yesterday, I think when I did the transaction, if I'm not mistaken, I might have saved your. It wasn't on this one. Once you do, okay, please volunteer again. Let me demonstrate something very quickly. Your account number, PE?
It's PE 22 0 655 22 82 1889.
Okay, perfect. Now, once you enter the number correctly, all you need to do is press on the account name and it will display the account name. So you know that the number you've entered matches the account. Then you enter the amount. This amount, remember, will be in Nigerian Naira because we have selected Nigerian Naira as our transacting local currency, okay? So if I want to send 1,000 Nigerian Naira, or let me send 5,000 so that we can have a reasonable value in Lumi, then you submit. That's, daily send limit over, okay, that's fine. If you see this, don't worry. If you see this, do this. Go to pricing plans and just pick pick this one, which is the highest. There is no payment involved. It's all free. It's just that it's something that we are putting in place to tier the payments that people can make. Okay, so when you do that, you select that, and you can go back and do the same transaction again. Apologies for that. So I go to transfer, send money, and then I put the number again. Luckily, I copied it. And then I put 5,000. And that's because I've selected Nigerian Naira. So that is 5,000 Nigerian Naira equivalent. The underlying value will always be transferred in Lumi. Now, when you do a payment to somebody for the first time, you select Save Account. So that the next time you want to make a payment to them, you just go to Saved Accounts and you select the account you saved and you enter the amount. So I'll send another one. 2,000. That's it. That's how quick it is. It's very efficient. It's very fast. Now, let's imagine that this person who is in Nigeria doing their transactions with a local currency experience decides that they want to do a payment to somebody in South Africa. So what they can do is select South African Rand, which is ZAR, so that their values will now be displayed in South African Rand. And if I need to make the same payment to Princess Dupour, I can simply go here, select account, and then put this time, because I've selected South African Rand, that would be, I would say 50 South African Rand equivalent, okay? Equivalent in Lumi. The underlying value is always transferred in Lumi. It's interesting because you can now go to your transfer history and you can see that South African Rand 50 was sent to that account. That's the account number, that's the transaction number, okay? The previous payment, which was in Nigerian Naira, the 5,000 Nigerian Naira, is now showing the equivalent amount in South African Rand. So if I want to see the precise amount I sent in Nigerian Naira, I just can come here and just switch back to my Nigerian Naira, okay? So that was 2,000. Did I send 2,000? I sent 2,000 first, and then I sent 5,000 first, and then 2,000. Okay? Nigerian Naira in both cases. So that is the experience in Transact. It is really revolutionary, and what we hope is that it would pave the way for people to now transact in Lumi as fast and as rapidly as they can. And if you are in Nigeria and you receive a call from somebody in Malawi that you need to send a payment, okay, then you pick Malawian Kwacha and then do your transaction in Malawian Kwacha equivalent. The underlying values always transferred in Lumi. So that is the revolutionary experience. And so imagine a scenario where you are traveling from Nigeria to South Africa. You just switch local currency experience in South Africa. You travel to Malawi, local currency experience in Malawi. Okay, you want to make a payment to somebody that wants to transact in US dollar in the diaspora, local currency experience by selecting, in this case, the US dollar. Okay, and these are equivalent values with no actual conversion taking place. So this provides a huge opportunity to save on currency conversion, a huge opportunity to preserve value for those that are actually storing their local currency values in Lumi. And there are many other benefits. And hopefully these are tools that help us in achieving the two goals. One, financial inclusion, and two, a single instrument of exchange across the community within continental Africa and between continental Africa and the diaspora. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. Questions we don't want to cover too much.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop there.
Thanks, Dr. Linus. Thank you so much. I think what we'll do right now is that for anyone, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So anyone who has any question, please, you can pose it here. You can pose it now so that we take care of it as we progress. So let's take questions on this specific aspect of access and transfers. So we're focusing today on access and transfers. Brother Patrick, your hand is up. You have the floor.
Thank you, Brother B. Like I highlighted yesterday, I tried to register on Transact yesterday. I tried with one email address. Immediately the system said the email address is already in use. I changed to a Swifting email address, to a Swifting mailbox, and I got the same response. But on both email addresses, I have not yet received any verification email. And I have also come across some tickets for people experiencing the same thing, whereby the system says your email address is already in use, but they have not received any verification, as in if they are already registered.
Okay, so I think that's something we need to take a look at because it is not normal for the email. So maybe what we want to do is just first of all to check if you are not registered, right? So we'll probably have to run a check just to see if you are not registered, because maybe when you submitted, it actually registered you. So we would have to run that check and see. Dr. Linus, you still have your screen. Maybe just go in. What name did you use? Put the name in the chat box. Put in the order that you use so that we can just check on the list of people who have registered. Just so that we clear that out of the way.
As in my full name?
The name you used for that registration. Put it on the chat so that we'll take it now and just check. Because maybe you submitted and it actually registered. Because I don't know why it would say email is in use if it's not been used before. So we are waiting for that.
Yes,
for the name.
Please send post the name in the chat box and we will check immediately. I have to say that we implemented a solution recently which sort of preempts where you want to press, and it tries to access the information just by pointing of the mouse. And there is a possibility that just by pointing the mouse, even before you click, the system has gone ahead and actually submitted that request. So we just need to check. If that is becoming an inconvenience, it was introduced to improve speed and performance, but if it is becoming a nuisance, then we can take that feature off.
We'll take it off. We'll take it off. Brother Patrick, did you post it already on the chat?
Okay, just 1 second. Okay. Yes, it's in.
Okay, very good. We'll carry on with the questions and we will check.
Okay, the next person is Audrey Grant.
Thank you very much. I think I probably missed a step in initiating the actual transaction. Do we just, let me repeat, do we go to accounts first and then select transaction, or which was the other one? Point,
so
is it
on the menu, right?
Yes.
On the menu in Connect, you would see Transact as one of the menu items.
Yes.
Click on Transact. I think it's the second to the last item is transfer AKL, transfer from account to Transact. When you click that, it will open up the page where you need to put the details for the transfer.
Just one moment, please. You go to Transact. You said the last option in the drop-down menu. You select transfer from account.
What can you see there? I'm trying to.
That's the screen.
I am not looking at it.
Okay, are you? Is everybody seeing the screen that I'm sharing?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay, so you're going to Connect.
We can see.
You're going to Connect, and when you are in Connect, if you want to do any transactions on Transact, just go to the Transact menu. If you want to do any transactions on account, you just go to the account menu. If you want to do anything relating to emails, you just go to the email menu. So Connect is the hub for all the services for the community.
Okay.
If you want to go to the TV station, you go to media. Most people are not aware yet, but we have there is a TV station that is
we are going to announce that later.
Right, but what happened? I see where
media already that has started streaming.
There is a point where you got the transaction number. I wasn't looking at it at the point to initiate it and getting the transaction number that is important in moving to the other area. How did you initiate that? You go account, then that's what I meant.
Is that to transfer value from account into Transact?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, to do that, the first step is you create your Transact account. Next step, you go into a Transact dashboard and you complete the KYC information. Okay, because that will be checked. Let me show you what the dashboard looks like. I'm just going to try and log in with one of these accounts just to access dashboard. When you get to the dashboard, you will see this button which says KYC. Let me close that. It says information to submit KYC. Click on it and then complete this form, making sure that the name that you provide matches the name on your ID document. You provide your present address, permanent address. If they are the same, put the same. Then you have to put your SWIFT ID. This is your 16-digit number. This is what links and connects your account to Transact. You put a profile picture, your country, and your city, and you submit. That's all you have to do. This is very quick. And then your Transact account should be ready to accept inbound transfers. You then go into Transact, on the top and click on Transfer AKL to Transact. Remember, the
Dr.
AKL
Linus,
is coming
Dr. Linus,
from
just
your
one
Swift
step
account.
there. Dr. Linus, one step back.
Yes.
Just one step back. Once you have the Transact account finalized, copy the PE number, which is the account number for Transact. Because when you go on to Transact, you would need that number when you do the when you make a request.
That's correct.
Okay.
And that
So when
PE
you come
number
to
is
this
this number here.
dashboard, you copy it and then you paste it in the where you are making the request. The bottom, Dr. Linus there. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Of course, you have to log in first if you are not logged in. We explained yesterday that it is important to secure your Transact account so that even if somebody were to get into your Connect, they can't access your Transact. So it's another layer of security. People might see it as an inconvenience, but it's actually a layer of security for your own protection. So that if you want to access your Swift account, you need to log in. If you want to access your Transact account, you need to log in. You can make the password the same.
Okay.
If you find that that helps you, but in any case, you need to log in. And for Transact, there is another layer of protection that you can actually impose on the account. I can show you that. So the number that Brother B was referring to is the Transact account number. That is a PE number. Okay, you need to paste that here and make sure it's correct. Then you provide your name as it appears on the Transact account, and then your name as it appears on the Swift account, and then the amount that you want to transfer. If you want to transfer 1,000 or 10,000, whatever amount you have that you want to transfer, put that in and then submit. Okay, and then just wait and check your Transact account. It will appear. It can be as quickly as within seconds or minutes, but it could also take up to 24 hours. The reason for that is that your Transact account has to be checked. And every time you do this transfer, it will be checked. So please do not try to transfer from somebody else's account into a Transact account that doesn't belong to you. That will be declined. Do not try to transfer from multiple Swift accounts into your Transact account because that would be declined. Okay, there is a one-to-one mapping. You can map one Transact account to one Swift account. So if you have duplicate accounts in Swift account, you can only map one to a Transact account.
Okay.
And please do not create duplicate accounts in Transact, because if you do, they will be deleted, and you don't want that. We only want to verify one account with proper KYC information, and that's it. You can only have multiple accounts if one is individual account and the other is a business account, but not multiple accounts for the same, because they all give you access to the same thing.
All right, another general question. Any account that needs that has a financial transaction needs to be, you need to sign in. You need to sign into that.
Yes, you need to sign into it. Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
For example, if I log out here, this is my Swift account. Okay, if I log out here and I go to account, this is a Swift account, and I go to member payment, I click on member payment, it will ask me to log in because I'm logged out. Now, because I've saved the details, once I submit, it then takes me straight to the page where I need to execute a member payment. Many people may be familiar with this, but it is so easy to access everything from Connect. Okay.
Thank you very much.
The next person is Mamote. Mamote, you are the next. You have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks, Dr. Mbi. Dr. Linas, yesterday I was struggling when I was trying to create my Transact account because the system wouldn't take the permanent address.
The system would not take
the permanent address.
Or the permanent address, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's another issue then. We will take note and we will check.
That is strange.
Did it display any particular error?
No, it didn't say anything. It wasn't just typing in.
Okay.
It wasn't typing in. Okay.
It wasn't typing in.
All right. Okay. Let me help you with that. Whenever you experience that, you're trying to do something and it looks like it's not accepting what you're doing, then there is a pop-up box that is sitting there that you need to maybe click and get rid of. Please remember that. Okay, that is most likely the reason. There is a pop-up box that you need to get rid of. So just please check that.
What happened, Doctor? What happened is I continued to type everything else, but only that one wouldn't allow me. So surely I think my screen was clear, but in future I'll look into that.
Yeah.
All right, we will also check. Has anybody else experienced that particular issue? Okay, Brother Patrick, we have, I'm going to share my screen.
Hello.
Yes, hello. So, Brother Patrick, that's the answer to your question.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have two accounts.
Please,
that email address and the other email address.
I need that one with the Swifin email address. If you can delete the other one.
Done.
Yes, okay. I want that one, say. If I can have the verification on that one.
If you remember your username and password, just log in. Just go straight ahead and log in.
Do we have a username on Transact?
Oh, no, it's an email address, right? So the email address is your username.
And the password that you put in.
Okay. Dr. Lanas, I've just posted 2 more names from tickets in the chat. If you you can check them, please.
The secret is, if the system says the email address already exists, then you are already registered.
Okay, that's the bottom line.
That is the bottom line.
But last night I tried to log in and then the system say your email address has not been verified.
Okay, then maybe you just try again. That's unusual.
Okay, let me try again, sir. Let me try again.
Yeah, please try again. That's unusual behavior.
Okay.
Now, what's the other name that you sent? Let's check.
Charles Gyros. If you can check in the chat.
It's on the chat.
Dr. Linus.
It's on the chat.
Charles Gyros. Okay.
Hey, Charles Gyros and Shannon Collins. I have 2 tickets.
Can I interject? Charles Gyros. Can I interject?
There you go.
I want to clear Charles Gyros. Yes, I've solved that one. He had an account created already. So what he was trying to do was trying to use the Connect platform to create another account, unknowingly that he had already accessed on the web. So I've cleared it with him and it's a resolved matter.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Elad. There is Shannon Collins also.
Shannon Collins. Let's check
Shannon Collins.
Oh, goodness. 3 accounts.
Wow.
2 a.m.
Yeah, so this is not necessary. I have to emphasize.
Just delete some and then leave one. I will communicate with you.
So which one do they want to delete? Do you know?
I think we should delete okay, let me I think let's delete
the 2 bottom ones and leave the top
2
one.
bottom ones, yes.
Yeah.
Then we leave here with the top one.
Okay. That's done.
Yes, so I will communicate with her that she must just log in. The account is there.
Excellent. What I was explaining about the system preempting what you are going to do is I will show you an example, okay? Because this is problem resolution. These sessions are helpful for problem resolution. So let's suppose that I went into, I want to log into a user dashboard. Let me go into Transact dashboard. Close that, and then log out. Now, when I go to Transact dashboard, it will present me with the login screen where I need to enter my username and password. So if I come in here and I put my username and password, I'm going to make this slightly smaller so you can see more of the screen. So the moment I put the correct username and password, typically, if that takes effect, then it should, then you would see a green sign that you're logged in. Let me try again one more time. Okay, it's not activating here now, but you can do this, and even before clicking login, you see a green sign that you're logged in. Okay, just like that. So the bottom line is we will take that feature off, okay, as part of this conversation and feedback.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Honorable, you have the floor.
Thank you, Brother Mbi. Greetings, everyone. I know I was a bit lost on time and I could not get. I suppose what I'm going to ask has not been asked because I came in late. First, Dr. Linus and Brother Mbi, how do we handle? Remember, with the old Swift platform, we would encourage people to have, those with business, to have their individual accounts and business accounts. Now, how do we then handle? Because some of them, what you realize is most people, they've managed to create a connect account. Now, for themselves, now for the business, does it have to have its own connect account? That's the first question. And furthermore, if not, how does one transact on both two accounts where they want to transfer funds from their Swift account on business account, which is not linked in a way on the connect account?
Okay, so I think the simple solution there is that, remember, we are doing a one-to-one mapping, right? So if you have a business account on account, right? You can also set up the business account on Transact. You have your individual account on account, you set up your individual account on Transact because it's one-to-one mapping. If you need to move money from the business account, it can only go into the business account on Transact. If you are taking from the individual account, it will go into your individual account. But what you can also do, as Dr. Linus showed in the demo, remember that you can save beneficiaries, which means if you are using the Transact account to pay, say, your staff, you can now go into that account because you have saved the beneficiaries and pay them from Transact.
I suppose that's clear on the Transact end in terms of the Transact account in, mapped with the Swift account. But how do they also have to create a connect account for the business? Because
okay,
if you see
on the connect account, I would say that there are advantages for a business to have a connect account because it's free advertising, it's free exposure. Remember, this is when you have your business on Connect, it's a bit like having your logo or your signboard of the services that you provide in a hotel lobby, and there is a huge conference going on with many people coming in and out. They are bound to see you and know what you're doing. So remember, Connect is connecting people and businesses to opportunities. That's what it really is. I know we call it the reception area, but Connect is to connect. Transact is to facilitate transactions. Account is to hold your Lumi. Okay. The media is for the television and for us to tell our stories where we are. Email is for communication that is so secure that it's away from spam and other things. So all the solutions that we are bringing are to help move the community forward in one direction or another and enhance the possibility of participating in the new digital economy and accessing opportunities in a way that would not have been possible. And so I would strongly recommend that if you have a business, list it on Transact. If you have products that you are selling, get the products in the marketplace and start selling them so people can actually buy them. If you have services, advertise those services free of charge to the entire community so people know what you're doing and they know the services they can buy from you. Okay, that's the idea. And then your personal account is to tell your personal story, is to share your personal story where you are, whether it is the things you're doing, the things you're interested in, and so forth. And we are going to be launching, as part of this Connect portfolio of products and tools, we're going to be introducing a trading portal which can be used to offer certifications for certain participants within the community. So they will have to go through a particular course to demonstrate that they understand how certain things work and that they are willing to comply to our processes. And then they will receive a certification as a particular participant in the community. And then we will expose them to the whole community. And the community might have to actually provide some additional input on whether they get elected to that role to provide that kind of service to the community. So these are all things that are coming, and they are very much nearby.
Okay, that's fine. It's well answered. Thank you. My second question relates to us. I suppose all people that are on the platform are those who are to aid and give us necessary support. It brings me to the element of unable to access the KYC menu. I don't know whether you've said it.
Sorry, can you say that again?
As access, because I cannot see the KYC. When I went in trying to authorize some transaction, I could see that I cannot because I don't do the KYC. Could not probably, and didn't catch up. I didn't get out. I could go to the KYC to check their credentials.
All right. The access for the support team to do that will be provided separately. So yes, that is internal within the support team. You will have the access, and the same access will be provided to community traders that can also vet individuals for the purposes of settling transactions within the community.
So in view of that, how then do we, because we are hamstrung, we cannot proceed to authorize transactions because we need to certify ourselves beyond the names. And
exactly, that is so important. That is absolutely so important. You will have access to all those tools.
Okay.
What we are going to do, though, is to make sure that every participant is adequately trained to provide specific services and that they will have obtained that particular certification for that particular piece that they're going to be working on. And so once that is rolled out, this is something we are working on, and it will be available literally before the end of, before Monday next week, I believe. It should be ready. And so once you've gone through that process and you've demonstrated that you understand what our requirements are and what needs to happen in the community in order to do certain things, then you will get the certification. and then you'll be given access to do what you need to do.
Okay,
so this is something that is coming, and it is important to do it this way. It is very important to do it this way. One of the things we want to do is provide the same sort of access possibility for a much larger community of traders, so that if you want to, for example, transfer some value from your account into Transact, you can just go to Connect and post a request that you want to do this, and any approved community trader or certified community trader can execute that transaction for you. It doesn't have to be submitted and wait in the queue, no. So you identify your transacting party, you complete the transaction in real time, in your time, A to B. That's it.
Okay.
So this is about democratization of access, so that this thing doesn't rely on me being available to execute transactions, or Brother MB or Brother Servius or any member of the support team. So it can literally run itself, right? And so if you wake up in the middle of the night and you want to do a transaction with somebody, you don't have to submit a request and wait. Somebody who is also available to complete that transaction for you at that particular time will intervene and say, yep, I can do that for you, and here are my credentials, let's do it.
All right.
Okay. So we are actually at the top of the hour. We are trying to keep this as tight as possible, 1 hour, strictly because we keep coming back every day, you know, and helping everyone who is in the community. We are right at the top of the hour. 1 minute to go. Dr. Linus, any closing remarks, just so that we can bring this to a close? Yeah, you can.
The only closing remark is that you know, we are on a journey, a collective journey, to resolve financial inclusion that affects 1.7 billion people worldwide, and where in some countries within continental Africa, more than 95% of people are excluded. We want to provide a single instrument of exchange to guard against the many declining currencies within the continent, which are a source of propagation of poverty from one generation to the next. And that's a community we have resolved, that these two problems are paramount because they affect every household, they affect every family in every country within continental Africa. And we have to take the opportunity in our own hands to address it as a community, and address it for ourselves and for the future generation. And that's why we are collectively on this journey. It will not be a success without all hands on deck. So it is all hands on deck. And by so doing, we will begin to see change unfold in front of our own eyes. And on that note, I bid you a good evening and God bless you.
Thank you so much. And thanks everyone for joining. We'll be on again tomorrow, same time, for another hour. We'll go through another process during that hour, and help resolve some of the issues that have come up through the day. And I wish you all well this evening, and looking forward to connecting again tomorrow. Have a good evening, everyone. Bye-bye.
Brother B.
Yes.
Brother B, what time? Yes. Is it 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock?
It's 7 o'clock South Africa time. 6 o'clock UK time. Okay. 6 o'clock West African time. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. It's 7 for us. It's 6 on the, you know, in the UK.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
Same to you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Night.
Night.
Well,